582-9933. Let's take our first phone call of the day. Steve in California, what's up?
Hello, this is Steve. Actually, I'm in Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem. I had a question. We have a friend who has a hypothyroid issue, and she occasionally takes this Levothyroid, medication.
Okay.
And we were just wondering, is there any possibility, is there anything that could be taken as an alternative, something, of course, more natural, a healthier approach?
There's lots. First of all, in the world of pharmacy, Levothyroid, which is an example of a pharmaceutical version of a thyroid hormone. It's a generic form of Synthroid. Most people have heard of Synthroid if they have thyroid problems. There's a lot of these generic thyroid hormone preparations that knock off Synthroid. But in the world of pharmacy, pharmacists are well aware that Synthroid and Levothyroid and all the other versions of thyroid hormone are notoriously ineffective. Patients who are on these drugs have to have their doses changed all the time. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. That's because thyroid hormone is active in very, very small amounts, and there's all kinds of feedback systems in the body that control whether or not thyroid is going to do its work. And that's the big problem with taking hormones as drugs. The body is controlling these hormone levels very, very tightly. As you can imagine, hormones are command signals, and they're making the body do different things. So the body has to control how fast these signals work, how much these signals are going to work, how intense the signaling will be. And just to take an exogenous hormone from the outside and put it in the inside is not really the best strategy for dealing with a hormone health issue. In fact, it's kind of a cop-out. It's really not what physicians should be doing. You don't just give somebody a hormone because their thyroid isn't working. That's not how it works. You gotta, if you really care about health, and whether or not physicians truly care about health can be up for debate, but if we really care about health, we gotta figure out what the heck is going on in the thyroid. Now, remember, the thyroid is part of our triangle of disease, our 3 points of disease: the digestive system, the blood sugar system, and then the adrenal thyroid complex. The thyroid is part of this adrenal thyroid complex. So the first thing you want to do, we're going to work backwards here. First thing you want to do, working backwards from the thyroid, is you got to figure out what's going on in the adrenal system. The thyroid adrenal complex can be thought of as one system. If there's something going on in the thyroid, hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, the first step backwards in our backtracking journey is going to be the adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are the body's stress glands. They give the body fight or flight energy. They give the body emergency energy. It's like a turbo on your car. Your car has a regular type of energy system, but when you need to pass somebody really fast, if you have a turbo engine, you hit the turbo and you go really fast. Now, you're not going to stay on turbo energy for a long time because you're going to burn out that turbo. In the body, the adrenal glands can be thought of as turbo energy, extra energy, to give you an extra burst to run from a tiger or to fight if you need to fight, so-called fight or flight. The thyroid, on the other hand, can be thought of as your regular energy-producing system. So the adrenals are your emergency energy-producing system. Your thyroid gland is your regular energy-producing system. When you are on turbo energy chronically, when you are on long-term fight or flight, stress, emergency energy, eventually the thyroid will slow down to compensate. And this is the first step to taking care of all hypothyroid issues. Address adrenal stress. Address adrenal stress. I'll tell you how you do that here in a moment. There's a couple easy things you can do, and there's a couple other things you're going to want to do to work on thyroid issues. We'll tell you what that is when we come back from our break. I am Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side. Got a line open for you at 866-582-9933. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. I'm Pharmacist Ben, talking to Steve in Virginia about the thyroid. Steve, we got you still?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, so first of all, thyroid is connected to the adrenal glands. Adrenal glands are your stress glands, emergency glands, fight or flight glands. They give you turbo energy. The thyroid gives you regular energy. In order to keep the thyroid running effectively, you got to make sure that you're not running on too much turbo energy. Stabilizing the adrenal glands is very important. There's a couple things that you want to do that. Number one, deep breathing. Slow down your breathing and breathe more deeply and more powerfully. And don't forget about the exhalation. It's just as important as the inhalation. The exhalation is when we blow off toxicity. When you're low thyroid, your respiratory system will suffer. The thyroid regulates breathing. So hypothyroid patients typically will not be oxygenating correctly. This can put further stress on the adrenal glands. So practicing deep breathing, slow deep breathing on the inhale, powerful exhalation can be important for the adrenal glands as well as for the thyroid. I cannot emphasize how important deep breathing techniques are. It's even more important probably than nutritional supplementation. You can go without food and nutrients for 30 days or so. You can go 3 minutes oxygen without oxygenation. So deep breathing, very important for the adrenals and for the thyroid. There's great nutrients, I mean great nutrients for the adrenal glands. Everybody knows about iodine for the thyroid, and indeed iodine is important for making thyroid hormone, but iodine is also important for your adrenal glands. So make sure that you're getting enough iodine, 12.5 milligrams of Ioderol or thyroid. And any issues with hypothyroidism? Have you ever heard about that, or anybody tell you about that?
Not really.
That's a common side effect of or a common symptom of poor thyroid functioning is low blood pressure. The thyroid regulates everything in the body. So when you go into low thyroid function, every system in the body can become depressed. Secondly, the adrenal glands are connected to the thyroid, at least biochemically connected to the thyroid. And when your adrenal glands, which is your body's fight or flight glands, become stressed out or fatigued, that also can cause issues with blood pressure. Sometimes hypertension, too high blood pressure, sometimes hypotension, low blood pressure. So that's the areas I'd be focusing on for your blood pressure issues, is adrenal health as well as thyroid health. Now keep in mind that there is a digestive link, as there is a digestive link to everything. There's a digestive link to the thyroid and to the adrenal glands. And with the thyroid in particular, it gets kind of interesting because not only can poor digestive function cause hypothyroidism, but hypothyroidism itself can cause poor digestive function. So you can end up with this kind of circular downward spiral where messed up digestion messes up the thyroid, which messes up digestion more, which messes up the thyroid more, et cetera, et cetera. So if you have any digestive issues, that's the first thing that you want to focus on, correcting your digestive problems. And if you've listened to this program for any length of time, you know that's always the first thing to look at no matter what your symptoms are. The first thing to focus on is digestive health and wellness. If you think you don't have any digestive problems, that doesn't mean anything because we become transparent to our digestive issues. We don't notice them over time, especially if we've had them for a while. So pay close attention to digestive symptoms. Notice if there's any foods that trigger low blood pressure. Notice if there's any foods that trigger digestive problems. And again, those are foods that need to be eliminated. You can use probiotics and digestive enzymes. Those are great nutritional supplements for the digestive system, in addition to eliminating foods, using probiotics, 80 billion units a day, and then multiple strains of bacteria, and then getting on the ultimate enzymes. You can also use glutamine powder. Around 5 grams a day is a good place to be for digestive issues. And there's also lots of other nutrients for the digestive system. Zinc can be helpful for the digestive system. There's actually a form of zinc called zinc carnosine. We haven't talked about that. And that can be very helpful for digestive problems. Zinc carnosine, not carnitine, but carnosine. And that's spelled C-A-R-N-O-S as in Sam, I-N-E. That can also be helpful for digestive issues. As far as working with the adrenal glands go, deep breathing techniques can help. Now, one of the things with deep breathing techniques is they'll actually relax the blood pressure system. So you may notice that after you practice deep breathing, your blood pressure drops a little bit more. If that's the case, then you don't want to do that too much. But you do want to strengthen the adrenal glands, and I would be using zinc and vitamin C and vitamin B12 in addition to the entire B complex for adrenal health issues. Vitamin B5 is also important, and now that I think about it, I forgot to tell Chris that. Chris, if you're listening, vitamin B5 is also very important for the hormone system. All the B vitamins really, Sam, can be helpful for the adrenal glands. And then working directly with the thyroid, iodine supplementation might be something that you want to think about. 12.5 to 25 milligrams a day of Ioderol is a good place to be if you're dealing with some thyroid problems. And I'll tell you what, Sam, it sounds to me like that might be your issue, is the thyroid and the adrenal glands. Do you notice there's any digestive issues, by the way?
No, I have very, just from listening to your show, I've got very good bowel movements,
okay.
Things like that.
No cramping or pain or anything like that in the digestive tract after foods or anything? Okay. Nope. It's just low blood pressure, nothing else?
Right.
How low is your blood?
Well, that's a great question. I don't know if that monitor that I'm using is accurate, but here it goes. Like, I took 2 readings yesterday and last night and this morning, and last night it was 95/60.
Filter.
About iodine and iodine supplementation. Yesterday we said iodine is protective against fluoride poisoning. It's protective against bromine poisoning. It's important for your thyroid, and it's very, very important for the brain. This brain support property of iodine is super important for developing fetuses, and around the world, cretinism and mental retardation. Cretinism is a type of mental retardation. Mental disease, mental developmental diseases that affect the brain are the most important health crises around the world that can be caused by iodine deficiency. For moms who are growing a fetus, moms who are breastfeeding, iodine supplementation can be a super important way to assure proper brain development for newborns or for babies to be. The World Health Organization recommends that pregnant and nursing moms get extra iodine, and even the World Health Organization recommends supplementation with iodine. Unfortunately, that may not be happening. Last week in a study that was performed at Murdoch University in Australia, researchers noted that iodine deficiency among pregnant and nursing moms was a significant problem. According to Dr. Mi-Kyung Lee, a senior researcher at Murdoch University, while most moms knew about the importance of things like folic acid and iron as far as supplementing goes, none reported using iodine supplements, even though moms-to-be have an increased need for iodine, and dietary sources for iodine are notoriously unreliable. Yesterday we talked about Dr. Jonathan Wright of the Tahoma Clinic in Washington using Lugol solution or SSKI solution, saturated solution of potassium iodide. These are 2 liquid dosage forms of iodine for iodine supplementation. Yesterday we talked about Dr. Jonathan Wright recommending Lugols and SSKI for purifying drinking water and for treating urinary tract infections and for dabbing on acne pimples to accelerate their healing. For UTIs, urinary tract infections, Dr. Wright recommends 10 to 15 drops of iodine solution, SSKI or Lugols, in a glass of water. Drink down the glass of water every 3 or 4 hours until the infection is gone. And for purifying drinking water, Dr. Wright recommends a couple of drops, 2 or 3 drops of iodine solution in a glass of dirty water. And of course, by now everybody knows that iodine is absolutely indispensable for the health of the thyroid. 2/3 of the body's iodine stores are in the thyroid gland, and iodine is also an essential component of thyroid hormone. If you are deficient in iodine, you will not be making enough thyroid hormone. And because thyroid hormone is required for the manufacture of all your other hormones, if you're iodine deficient, if you're one of the 2 billion people around the world who is iodine deficient, any health condition is possible. Any hormone problem is likely, not just thyroid hormone. Remember, the thyroid regulates everything else, and it is our jumping off point into every single one of the health crises that we deal with in this country. Every single one of the big-time degenerative health crises, osteoporosis and heart disease and vascular issues and muscle and nerve issues, brain issues, even cancer itself can follow this hypothyroid issue, problems with the thyroid. Once your thyroid is messed up, anything is possible.